Welcome to Georgetown, the beating heart of Guyana, a place where the Caribbean meets South America in a way you've probably never seen before. Nestled along the muddy banks of the Demerara River, just a few miles from the Atlantic Ocean, Georgetown is a city that's as colorful, complex, and charming as the people who call it home. This is the gateway to a country still flying under the radar for most travelers, a land of dense rainforests, powerful rivers, and untamed beauty. But here in the capital, it's not just nature that impresses. It's the energy, the stories, and the history woven into every wooden facade, market stall, and waterfront breeze. The first thing you notice when you arrive in Georgetown isn't the skyline. There aren't many towering high-rises here, but the sheer openness of the city. The streets seem to breathe, lined with pastel-painted colonial houses perched on stilts, lush tropical gardens spilling over with bougainvillea, and canals crisscrossing neighborhoods like watery veins. And then there's the air, thick, warm, and fragrant, sometimes with the smell of sea salt, sometimes with the sweet aroma of freshly fried bakes and saltfish drifting from a roadside vendor. It's an introduction that feels both foreign and strangely familiar, like a place you've never been but somehow know in your bones. Georgetown's story begins in the 18th century, when European powers were busy carving up South America. Originally established by the Dutch, the settlement was known as Stabroek, before the British took over in 1812 and renamed it Georgetown in honor of King George III. The city's Dutch origins are still visible today, especially in the intricate canal system that was designed to keep the land dry, a necessity in a city that sits below sea level in many areas. These canals, lined with palm trees and still used for drainage, give Georgetown a unique charm that sets it apart from other Caribbean capitals. As you wander the streets, the architecture tells a story of colonial ambition and adaptation. Many of the city's iconic buildings are made almost entirely of wood, painted in crisp white with ornate fretwork, high ceilings, and broad verandas to catch the breeze. The most famous of these is St. George's Cathedral, one of the tallest wooden structures in the world, soaring over the city in brilliant Gothic style. Step inside and you're surrounded by intricate stained glass, polished wooden pews, and an almost ethereal stillness, a reminder of the city's deep spiritual roots. But Georgetown isn't a relic. It's alive with movement, music, and conversation. The heart of the city beats strongest at Stabroek Market, a sprawling iron-framed structure that's been the hub of trade for over a century. Here you can find just about anything. Fresh tropical fruits piled high in pyramids, spices in fragrant heaps, handcrafted jewelry, and fish so fresh it still glistens in the morning sun. Vendors call out their prices, customers haggle, and the air is alive with a rhythm that feels like part commerce, part carnival. Outside, the market spills into busy streets where minibuses, bicycles, and pedestrians dance in an unspoken choreography. Georgetown's population is a rich blend of cultures: Afro-Guyanese, Indo-Guyanese, Amerindian, Chinese, Portuguese, and European heritage. And that diversity is one of its greatest strengths. It's visible in the faces you pass, the music you hear, and the food on your plate. Guyanese cuisine is a mouth-watering fusion of flavors, from pepperpot, a slow-cooked meat stew with a distinctive cassourit sauce, to curry and roti that rival anything from the Indian subcontinent. There's chow mein, fried rice, medamji, and the ever-popular cook-up rice, a one-pot dish that brings together rice, peas, meat, and coconut milk into a hearty, comforting meal. Street food culture thrives here. A warm folery dipped in tangy mango sauce or a plate of bar with chickpeas can be a day-changing experience. Economically, Georgetown has been on a quiet rise, and that rise is beginning to speed up. Guyana's economy has historically been driven by agriculture, sugar, rice, and livestock, along with bauxite and gold mining. But in recent years, massive offshore oil discoveries have transformed the country's economic outlook almost overnight. ExxonMobil and other major players have set up operations, and Georgetown has become the epicenter of what many are calling one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. Skyscrapers are still rare, but modern office buildings, luxury hotels, and infrastructure projects are springing up, changing the city's profile and attracting new businesses. With this economic boom has come a shifting housing market. Traditional wooden homes still dominate many neighborhoods, especially in older districts like Kitty and Cummingsburg. But new gated communities and apartment complexes are emerging to meet the growing demand from expatriates and the expanding middle class. Rents vary widely. A modest apartment in the city center might run between $400 to $700 per month, while high-end options in sought-after areas like Queenstown or Subbrainville can go well above $500. The government is also pushing for modern housing developments to accommodate the influx of professionals working in the oil and gas sector. Despite the changes, Georgetown retains its easygoing pace. People greet each other in the streets, conversations drift lazily on the breeze, and there's always time to stop for a drink. And in Georgetown, that drink might well be Demerara rum, one of the city's proudest exports. Made from locally grown sugarcane, it's smooth, rich, and carries the history of centuries of craftsmanship. Whether sipped neat or mixed into a tropical cocktail, it's a taste of Guyana in liquid form. Georgetown is also a city of green spaces. The Botanic Gardens, established in the late 19th century, are a peaceful retreat from the bustle of the streets. Here, broad lawns, shady trees, and ponds full of lotus flowers invite you to slow down. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of the national bird, the bright orange and black hoatzin, or spot manatees gliding lazily in the garden's ponds. Across the way, the Guyana Zoo offers a chance to see some of the country's extraordinary wildlife up close, from jaguars to giant river otters. Yet for all its tranquility, Georgetown is deeply connected to the wild heart of Guyana. The city is the launching point for adventures into the interior, journeys that take you by small plane, riverboat, or 4x4 into some of the most pristine ecosystems on Earth. From here, you can set off to see Kaieteur Falls, the world's largest single-drop waterfall hidden deep in the rainforest, or explore the Rupununi Savannahs, home to rare wildlife and indigenous communities whose traditions stretch back thousands of years. Culturally, Georgetown is alive with festivals and events that reflect its multicultural heritage. Mashramani, held in February, is perhaps the most famous. A celebration of Guyana's Republic Day featuring vibrant parades, elaborate costumes, and pulsating music. It's a day when the streets are awash in color, the air is electric, and the whole city comes together in joy. Religious and cultural observances like Diwali, Phagwa, Holi, and Christmas are all celebrated here, each adding its own layer to the city's festive calendar. The arts are thriving too, with local music ranging from reggae and calypso to chutney and soca filling the airwaves. The National Cultural Center hosts theatrical productions, concerts, and dance performances, while small galleries and workshops showcase the talents of Guyanese painters, sculptors, and artisans. And when the sun sets, Georgetown doesn't go quiet. Bars, rum shops, and nightclubs keep the energy going well into the night, offering everything from live drumming to DJ sets. Georgetown's charm lies in its contrast, a place where wooden colonial houses stand beside modern offices, where centuries-old traditions coexist with the promise of a booming future, where the pulse of the Caribbean meets the rhythm of South America. It's a city that rewards the curious traveler, the one willing to slow down, listen, and look beyond the surface. Because here, the real beauty isn't just in the landmarks, but in the small moments. A smile from a market vendor, the scent of curry drifting through an open window, the sight of fishing boats returning at dawn. As the oil wealth continues to flow and modern development reshapes its skyline, Georgetown faces the challenge of balancing progress with preservation. But if the city's history is any indication, it's a challenge it's well equipped to meet. This is, after all, a place built on resilience. A city that has survived colonial rule, economic hardship, and the relentless elements, always emerging with its spirit intact. Leaving Georgetown, whether by plane, boat, or just in memory, is never simple. The city has a way of getting under your skin, not because it dazzles with skyscrapers or overwhelms with spectacle, but because it feels real. It's a place where history is not something you visit in a museum, but something you walk through every day. And as the warm Atlantic breeze follows you out, carrying the scent of salt, wood, and spice, you realize you haven't just visited a city. You've been welcomed into a story. one that's still being written right here on the edge of the sea.